Hi, my name is Angela Zugu. I am a marriage and relationship coach. Today, I really want to talk about active listening as a very important habit you need to practice daily in order to enhance our quality relationship with anybody at all, with your spouse, with your family members. So it's a simple habit because people do not know what it is or how it is or what it means to listen actively. So it is a very familiar topic when we listen every day, if you ask me, but how well do we listen? That is the important thing I'm going to be talking about today. So active listening is a communication technique that involves fully concentrating on, understanding, responding to, and remembering what is being said. So in other words, when you are conversing with someone, in the end, you are responding to that person's discussion. You understand what the person has said, and you're able to remember some of the things that have been discussed, right? So it's not just about hearing the words someone is saying. It's about engaging with their message in a deeper level. And so when you truly listen to someone without interrupting, without judging, and with genuine interest, you show that you value their thoughts and their feelings. This simple habit can deepen understanding, foster empathy, and strengthen bonds in any relationship, whether it is with your partner, with a friend, with a family member, or even with a colleague. So, what are those? I want to give you the breakdown on how we can listen actively when we are having a conversation with someone. Because what I have observed is that this active listening is for everybody. Sometimes when we get too busy, we tend not to listen, even when we are present. Some people have become their habit. They are never patient to listen to anybody, even when they are there. And when you're trying to get their attention, it becomes so difficult. Because even when they are listening, their mind is on something else. And so, this kind of thing cannot foster any good relationship with your partner. Because the person who is communicating will tend to be frustrating, because this has been happening every day. And over every little discussion, you never get to get the person's attention. So it's a difficult thing, honestly. Is it that they are doing something different? They are too busy with their computer, they are too busy with their phone, or they are even doing genuine things, but never have time to listen actively. So we are going to talk about what are the breakdown on how we can listen to our friends, listen to our partner when we are conversing or communicating or doing anything at all. The first thing you need to do is to give your full attention. It's very important. Attention is important. Everybody struggles with this. I'm telling you honestly. That when you're talking to someone, they don't have the time to spend a few minutes or time to listen to whatever you have to say. Alright? So when someone is speaking to you, make a conscious effort to focus solely on them. Your eyes are on them. And that's why when I want to talk to my husband, I say, please, I want to talk to you. I need your attention. And I want him to look at me. Because ladies or women, we generally, when we are talking, we want people to face us. That's when we know that you are listening to us. We need your attention. You are facing us face to face. So listening encompasses so many things: your body language, the way you are looking at that person, your disposition, you are not leaning in, you are leaning out. Just everything about you is with that person discussing with you. You are listening, you are focusing, your attention is there. It shows that you care, it shows empathy, it shows respect. It shows that you want to help in any way at all. So you are not being distracted at all. So you are facing the person face to face, and you're making good eye contact, and your body language is doing the best at that time. The second way you can show that you are listening is by just listen, by nodding your head. Right? Someone is discussing, you're nodding, you're saying, oh, I see, wow, interesting. Those are what we call non-verbal cues that are very important in a conversation, in a discussion, and while you're communicating with someone. It shows that you are there with them, you are listening, you are articulating what they're saying. So you don't just keep quiet and not say anything. You are giving all those signals. It represents a lot of things that even though I am not talking, because you got to keep quiet for the person to express themselves, or you are saying all these non-verbal cues to show the person that you are listening. It really helps a lot. The next thing I want to talk about is you need to provide feedback. Someone is done talking to you or discussing with you, you need to show that you listen, or that you even understood what the person has said. It's a form of commitment. So you got to reflect on what the person has said. You can even rephrase what the person has said in your own words to show understanding. All right, and then begin to follow up with questions. It demonstrates that you are actively processing their words and encourages further discussion. The next thing I want to talk about is when you are listening to someone, you empathize. You are showing empathy. It's so important. Someone walk up to you and they are sharing something and they are saying something. The way you listen to them, the way your body language does not depict that I want you to talk to me. I don't have your time. Please, not now. Some other time. How do you show empathy that someone has walked up to you? It can even be your partner. How do you show empathy? It's by listening and validating their feelings, validating their emotions at that time. Is help a long way to bring healing. It goes a long way to bring that, oh, when I fully understood, I have already solved half of my problem. But a lot of time we don't really get, we don't really get the attention that we need. Nobody get to listen. That's why even in your environment, things will be going on. You don't pick anything from your environment, you don't observe anything, you don't listen to anybody, and you are there. So because we get too busy to notice what is happening, even when we have been, stopped to someone will need your attention to listen to them, we better not listen. Because when you are listening to them, in your mind is somewhere else. It happens. So you got to train yourself and make it a daily habit to be able to show empathy by listening to people attentively. You have to show empathy by demonstrating people, showing that you feel, you understand what they are passing through. You can say this like, oh, that sounds really frustrating. I can imagine how that must have made you feel. Some of these things is what show that you are really listening. And it shows empathy, it shows that you love the person, it shows that you want to care, you want to support. So listening is a big thing that can enhance any form of relationship. Okay? So the next one I want to talk about is how we can show listening to our friends is by avoiding interruption. You avoid interruption, you're not jumping to conclusion. A lot of people struggle with this. That someone is talking to you because of maybe you know the topic too well or you are too impatient. You just have to jump to the conclusion of the discussion without letting the person voice what they have to say. Giving the person the safe space to talk, to be able to express themselves very well. Because when we get to express ourselves, we feel okay. That's the beginning of our problem solved, right? So you jump into conclusion or you even interrupt the person. I know you have questions to follow up, but you gotta hold on with the question until when the person is done with their discussion. There will be time for contribution, there will be time to follow up, there will be time for asking further questions. But you don't interrupt that person in order to cut their story short so they can get going. You don't interrupt the person because, or even begin to judge or criticize those people, or even making assumptions. Those things are not important. Let's begin to retrain ourselves to be able to learn how to listen. So that's what we do in counseling. When people come to us for counseling, we got to listen. That's the first thing we do. You listen without judgment, without criticism. You are just there, holding that space for that person to be able to, pour out their mind out, to voice out. Because people want people to listen to them, to understand where they're coming from, to understand their perspective. But a lot of time, because of so many things, we get caught up in our discussion that we don't get to listen at all. Even when we think we're present, our mind is not there. The last thing I want to talk about is being patient. It's very important. The important aspect of listening, listening skills. It's so important that we don't get to be. We are not patient at all. Yes, people are talking to you, you only go. You are hurrying up to go somewhere. You are doing something, you cannot pause because you feel that your time is being wasted. Of course, I don't want you to waste your time doing what is irrelevant, right? Saying something that does not matter, something that will not add to your value. But when someone you're living with, your partner, your friend, your colleague, walk up to you, they need your attention for anything at all. It could be for discussion, for the office, for the family, whatever, even your kids. We don't get time to talk, to discuss. We don't get time, that patient, to hold on and be able to hear them out. It's a big thing. Even teachers do the same because they don't have time. Too many kids to take care of. and the kids are reporting issues, they're talking, they say, hold on, I will get back to you. Hold on, I will get back to you. And sometimes they never get back to the kids. I'm not trying to judge anybody here, but just that's the reality. We hardly have the patience or the time to be able to settle down and listen to whatever anyone has to say. So we need to pause, because when we listen, we are really making people happy. When we listen, we are really promoting and respecting people. We tell them that we will care and we want to hear you out. Whatever you have to say, we are here for you. You value what they have to say. You value their thought and you value their feelings. It's so important. So remember what was said in that discussion. So for you to remember, you have to listen. You have to really pay attention actively. You have to be present. A lot of time in the church or anywhere, a reading will be going on in the church. This is for me. And somebody is reading Bible for those of us that are Christian. And I will be there listening, but my mind is somewhere else. My mind is in the kitchen, so many places. You can never pull yourself together. At the end of the day, you are asking yourself, where was the reading taken from? You don't know. And you are there. So listening is for everybody. It's not for anybody in particular. It's for all of us to begin to retrain our thoughts, retrain ourselves, to be able to be present and be active while we are listening. To be able to gather up the details. So you make an effort to remember the key points and details from the conversation. This shows that you value what the speaker has shared, and it helps you follow up on important topics later. So if necessary, take notes, mentally summarize the discussion afterward. It shows that, oh, I got whatever you have to say. I understood you and everything, whatever we have to say, you make your own contribution at the end of the day. So these are the things there are so many things about listening, right? But in the end, or in all, it's boiled down towards communication. If you don't listen, you'll not be able to communicate well. People get frustrated. People shut down, because each time they come to you to have that conversation, you always show that non-caring attitude, that I'm not available, right? It's not for me. It's not this time around. I don't have that time for this long story. I don't have your time. They will never come back again. Yeah, when people notice that you don't pay attention to them, you don't show interest in what they have to say, you're not listening attentively, they know when you listen to them, and they will never come back, and they will never share whatever it is they have to share with you. So if you are a partner, I want to narrow this down to relationship and a man and woman in the house, husband and wife, those who are dating, anything at all you are doing, communication is important, and listening is very, very paramount in any form of relationship. Because when you listen to people, they understand, they feel respected, they feel that you are with them. So by practicing active listening, you demonstrate respect, empathy, and understanding towards the other person, which can significantly improve the quality of the relationship. It fosters trust, encourages open communication, and helps to resolve conflict more effectively. So over time, making active listening a habit can deepen your connections with others and enrich your personal and professional goals. So this is what I want to share with you today. It's so important. And the other side, women like talking. So when we talk and you're not listening to us, we'll shut down. We'll never get to talk again. And you can imagine what happens when people that are living together in the family are not talking all the time. They will have to seek for other people to talk with, because as for women, we must talk. So if you're not listening to me as a husband, if you're not listening to me at all, I'm going to look for someone who can listen to me. So that talk, we must talk it, and that listening, you have to be there. So if you make this a habit as a man and a woman, a husband and wife, to begin to listen to your husband, to your wife, when they are talking, it will help us to solve a lot of issues. There will be no need for conflict. There will be no need, because a lot of things will be settled while we are talking and listening. And I believe that this video, as I've touched you in any way or other, I want you to leave your comment in the comment box below. Thank you. Bye.